Welcome to my top 10 figures of 2025. Let's get started before you guess any more of them just by their silhouettes. At number 10, we have the Operation Monster Force Black Watch Agent. I was so excited about these guys when they were announced because they're not that expensive, and there was a head pack, and I immediately envisioned a squad of goons in suits. These guys come with everything you need to make a cool bad guy. They've got the awesome, like, swappable monster parts. The head pack gives you some variety, so you can have a whole squad of them. They make great bad guys for heroes to beat up. They make for like a cool, Secret Service squad or something. Between the great value and what they can do for your collection, I think these guys are a must-have. At number 9, we have the Meditoys Necromancer Charmin. This guy is just amazing. I love all the different stuff he comes with. You can change him into so many different configurations. You can kind of like armor him up with this big old scythe, or you can give him the more like creepy sorcerer look. He is the leader of my undead horde, and I love him very much. Meditoys absolutely nails it with just tons and tons of accessories, and if you really wanted to, you could take everything off and just use this guy as a base for your own custom undead guy. And the light up feature on the eyes, that is the coolest thing I have seen from recent action figures, and I hope more and more companies do it because it's just cool, man. At number 8, we have Amazing Yamaguchi Ninja Gaiden 2 Ryu Hayabusa. Amazing Yamaguchi figures always have amazing articulation, but they are getting better and better at somehow also being able to maintain a good sculpt so that the figures can also stand in a more neutral pose if you want them to. Of course, you're almost never going to do that with Ryu. He can hit just an insane number of poses. He's got all the accessories you would need. Like, he is the ninja figure for your collection. The only modification I felt like I needed to make was running a wire through his Kasarigama weapon, and now he is perfect, and he is the centerpiece of my modern ninja display. At number 7, we have Zezre Studios Gold Hilder. This figure was on a lot of people's lists for 2025 for lots of reasons, but I just love having this incredibly customizable female barbarian for my collection. I just made a few modifications in the end. I gave her a shoulder strap, different weapon, and I'm really happy with her. She adds some much needed femininity to my barbarian display. At number 6, we have LPZZ Arkham Knight Batman. You might have expected this to be higher on the list, but I'm just not as much into comic book heroes as I used to be. But this figure is still incredible. It is the best Batman figure I've ever owned. It might be the only Batman figure I ever need to own. Although that Batman Hush they've got coming out looks pretty cool too. Still, he comes with a great amount of accessories. I really like that the wired cape allows itself to be draped by gravity and also held in a gliding pose, as I discussed in my video. And yeah, if you can still track this guy down, I highly recommend it. He is amazing. Are you enjoying the video? Then please consider subscribing, because once I hit 1,000 of those, I will be doing a collection tour video where I go through each and every one of my displays. Thank you so much for your consideration, and back to the video. And we're down to the top 5, starting with Savage Crucible Warrior with Ball and Chain. I don't know what it is about being a dad who's pushing 40, but I've really gotten into Frank Frazetta paintings and barbarians. And this guy is the barbarian action figure. He's got everything you need: a cool flail, cool shield, cool sword, horned helmet, awesome fur cloak. With these customizable fantasy lines, I figured that a good criteria for picking one would be picking the figure that I modified the least, because that means I was happy with it out of the box, and that is absolutely this guy. My only modification was running a wire through the flail so I can pose it how I want to. But yeah, Savage Crucible continues to kill it. I love this barbarian wave, and this guy was the best among them. At number 4, we have Mythic Legions Legacies of Mythos Otho. Similar to Savage Crucible, I figured a good way to judge just one Legions figure for the year would be to pick the one that I modified the least, and I haven't done anything to Otho. He is just amazing as is. I don't feel the need to swap any parts on him. I love that you can switch him up from being like this amazing dude with like a lion helmet and dreadlocks coming out the back, like it's the main. That is such a choice. This guy has like crazy protagonist energy. And on top of that, you can swap the helmet to do like maybe a younger version of him, or if you bought more than one, they're like his guards or whatever. But yeah, he's just got great range. He's got a great loadout of weapons. and they all fit on him great. I could see him actually going into battle with all of these at once and using different weapons for different situations. But yeah, it's hard to pick just one Legions figure, but for Otho, because I didn't have to do anything with him, he's my choice. At number 3, we have Figma Tears of the Kingdom Link. This figure is incredible. It shows some real evolution as far as Figma is concerned. There's some great updates to the Figma design here. We're seeing a lot better articulation. And of course, the accessories are absolutely insane. I love the glider. I love all the different weapons, all the attachments. I made only 2 small modifications. I bought him a much better cape and I strung his bow. But yeah, even without those modifications, this figure is a masterpiece. At number 2, we have SH Figuarts Golden Age Guts. Yeah, I'm a little biased. Berserk is my favorite thing ever. This figure is the complete package. He has amazing articulation, all the accessories you need, very expressive face options, and is just so much fun to mess around with. Honestly, the only reason he's not number 1 is that import figures are getting really expensive, and that's frustrating, and also that there's a few bits on the legs that I wish were painted, like the buckles. Still though, if you enjoy Berserk, I cannot recommend this guy enough. In fact, just if you like action figures, buy this guy. He's so much fun to play with, and not a lot of action figures with 2-handed swords can actually hold it and look good. And my number 1 action figure of 2025 is the V-Toys Gravity Garden Hunter of Dragonfire. Even though this guy seems to be an original creation, I was completely in love with the figure as soon as I saw it up for pre-order. It's funny because you look at it and it's like, is this a Bloodborne? And yeah, he kind of is, but he really is just kind of all the best parts of the general like Soulsborne aesthetic put together into a single action figure. And on top of that, he's on the latest V-Toys body, which is insanely posable. This guy can go from like cursed greatsword wielder to a mage to like a swashbuckling duelist to some kind of crazy dragon hybrid, and I love all of it. I can't decide what to do with this guy. Part of me wants to just make him a Bloodborne hunter. All I gotta do is cover his mouth with a scarf and give him a Bloodborne weapon. He's good to go. But he comes with so many cool accessories. I keep messing around with him, trying out different configurations. I haven't even figured out what display he's gonna go into yet. He is so much fun to play with, and I will be doing a separate video review where I figure out how exactly I'm going to use him in my collection. Honestly, I regret not buying 2 of these guys. That is how customizable he is and how much I want more figures like this in my collection. In fact, I do actually have the V-Toys blank body. I'm going to see if I can try and track down some of this guy's parts to make another figure kind of like him. Alright, that wraps things up. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for making this channel as successful as it has been in the last few months. I just decided I wanted to focus on toy reviews instead of my channel being whatever, and that has worked out really well. Every time I check my subscribers, there's more, so thank you so much for that, and here's to lots more toys in 2026.